Have you ever experienced a time where you were so focused on something that you just really, really wanted? You were like desperately trying to get that thing. And then as soon as you decided, never mind, or I'm just going to focus on something else, or you just kind of let it go, that's when you get the thing. Hey, my name is Darz. Welcome here on this channel. We're learning, growing, expanding the comfort zone, becoming authentically ourselves. Me, we, us. Just discovering who we are inside. So I think part of what I've been struggling with being in like transitional phases throughout time, like when I've moved to different places, or when I've been trying to find a place to live, or when I've been, like when I first got married and we were waiting for the visa to come through, and it took like 14 months. It was like so many waiting periods, and like, okay, whenever I get to the next stage, that's when I'll be okay, or that's when I'll be able to settle in, or that's when I can finally try to work towards this goal. Well, when I'm in those phases is when I most am like hanging on to this result and this thing that's going to happen, or that I hope will happen, like that visa, for example. Is like, I'm just like so attached to that result, like, oh my gosh, I just really want this to happen. And then, by the time 14 months go by, I mean, there was different stages, of course, that we were waiting for, but every time, every step of the way, whenever we were waiting for that result, I just, at some point, turned my focus to something else, and that result would come through. So let me give a better example. I actually know somebody who recently was looking for a job. They were desperately looking for a job, like constantly searching, online and in person, and going to different places and sending emails and calling places and doing everything they could to just get a job, because they were like, I need a job. Of course, if you don't have a job, you probably feel that. You felt that if you've ever been looking for a job, when you're like, I need money to survive, right? And so this person neglected their health, kind of like didn't really care what they were eating. They stopped going to the gym. They wouldn't really go do stuff out and about, because they were just like, this one thing, they need this one thing, and they can't do anything else. They can't think about anything else. And then one day they were like, heck, I cannot keep doing this. I need to figure something out. Something needs to change. And so they went to the gym, got a membership, and started working out. After a couple days of going to that same gym, I ended up talking to the person at the desk, talking about like, hey, yeah, I'm looking for a job, whatever, just casual conversation. And that person at the desk was like, oh, I actually know this person who are looking for people. It just goes to show, honestly, you can't just focus on one thing and do only that and be desperately attached to it. You need to kind of let go and trust that it's going to happen in its time. And there are other things you can do, and you can still enjoy time and enjoy life, even, for an example, in that like dire situation of like, you really need a job. Well, you can still be, go for walks. You can still go to the grocery store. You can still try to relax into life. I know it can be hard, but like, you never know when you're going to meet a random person in the street or at the gym or wherever you end up going, that is going to be that key person that helps you actually, in the end, get to that thing you were desperately holding on to. I actually watched a video recently it's Caroline Winkler. I'll link it down below. I think it was like something like 5 things I learned the hard way or something like that. And she talks about more situations like this, different types of situations, and just like fascinating. So interesting. It's so interesting. And it's a great reminder. And especially when you're stuck and in a rut of that, like, you really want that thing and it's not happening. And you're like, why is it not happening? You just have to let go, have faith, and just, enjoy life along the way. Enjoy those little moments. Enjoy those coffees. Enjoy that fresh air. Enjoy that time with your family. Enjoy any moment, any time, every experience, every feeling. And this is very much a reminder to myself as well. And I will see you tomorrow.